One of the things that I think helps tell us where we are in Arizona is that one of the people who is now viewed as perhaps not conservative enough to really be viewed any longer as a real conservative is Barry Goldwater. We have gotten so incredibly, I think, askew that people like Barry Goldwater is now viewed as perhaps maybe he had a hidden liberal gene that nobody knew about. And I had occasion to serve with Sandra O'Connor. I was honored to go to the United States Senate at her confirmation and speak for Justice O'Connor. And many people thought I was being ugly because clearly she was to the right and we didn't need her on the Supreme Court. And yet people now, many of the folks who are the leaders here, view her as some kind of liberal, crazy person because Justice O'Connor has come back to Arizona trying to help create an Arizona where civility and comity and fairness and just good old common sense is still allowed in the political arena. It says, I think, a good deal, not about what people really viewed historically as conservatives, but what people now call conservative, which I don't think is really conservative at all.
I want to ask Art something based on your long experience in the legislature. So a lot of what you just mentioned, the incivility and what we've been talking about, the sort of the porousness of the political system so that someone can move here and run for office and extreme positions can really take hold. It seems to me that part of the responsibility for that lies in the political institutions that we have here. And I'm wondering if you feel like the dawn of the term limits age has anything to do with it. You know, we now have a state legislature that cycles through. People don't have the kind of long career that you had. And so the members of the bodies themselves don't particularly value that, don't place value on governmental institutions the way that careerists formerly would have. Is there anything to that?
One of my heroes is the late Morris Udall, former Congressman from Arizona. And Mo once said about the United States Congress, some of the worst things, and he told me I should never attribute this to him, but he said it.
Oops.
Some of the worst things that ever happened in the Congress happened in the name of reform. I will tell you that term limits have been an unmitigated failure in this state because, frankly, the institutional memory that kept certain things at bay is now gone. And people come with 8 years to make a name and move on to something else, and therefore the people who take care of the institution really are no longer there. When I served in the House for 26 years, it was my house. And you didn't come to my house and bring all that garbage in. You kept the garbage outside. There's nobody there now handling the folks who bring the garbage in. The other thing that I think has changed is we did something which I greatly support, and that's public finance. But we did it without fully understanding some of the negative effects of public finance. Because it's not tied to parties or tied to some organizational institution, anybody who comes in and can get a few people to sign $5 can now run. So that people come in and they're free to run, separate and apart from the institutions that used to help kind of govern conduct, parties, precinct committee organizations, county organizations. People now come in playing Lone Ranger. And so if you can get somebody like, with all due respect to my good friend Russell Pierce, who has an organization to go out and get some of those signatures for you, you're out there and you can come here, and if you meet the 2 or 3 year requirement, you're free to run. And frankly, while I do believe that there is a place for public financing, I do believe it is certainly had, to some degree, an unexpected negative effect. But I think term limits is even though I'm told I was the poster child for term limits, it's been an unmitigated failure.